You heard from Michael that one of the features that we are developing is the compare clones. And the most important, I will start with some definition and talk about it, what it is, why we need it. And later, let me, pardon. Okay. Okay, good. Let's see. All right. So compare clones. You heard it last year in roadmap. I was talking about the clones. We say that it's coming in the next version. So in 2026, we will have the compare clones finally here. And this is the first presentation about sneak peek into that feature, so we can all understand what it is. I can tell you at the very beginning when we started developing this feature, I didn't know where that will go that far. So what it's all about. Michael mentioned it's okay if you have one part and you want to multiply it on other workpieces and just machine it on other devices, right? So it is like this, but actually the feature that I'm going to show you, it goes far beyond that. There's a lot of text here and stuff, yes, but I want you to look at those pictures here on the right. I was visiting a lot of customers, and I see that I was mainly focused on the Milton and Swiss, right? But I see in the milling machines there, I never seen like only one vise. It's very rare today to see it. Usually I see 2 to 8 vices, even on a 3-axis mill. If you have the 5-axis, I often see these pyramid fixtures. So I was thinking about, what these guys are doing, in order to optimize their programs. What is the software that they use for it? It is completely different league when you have one vice and when you have a lot of jobs there and stuff. There's nothing too much there to optimize. But when you are running like this, and also the tombstones, I said also about the tombstones, how do you guys optimize this stuff? So what you need to care about it. So first and the most important, what you need to care is that you have now multiple work offsets. Of course, you have multiple vices, you have multiple stocks and stuff, but you need to care about multiple work offsets. And if you have a lot of other also positions connected to each of the workpiece, you have another coordinate systems connected to that too. You need to really care to have centralized database of the tool numbering and offset assignments. We don't care about that because Toolkit is awesome. So this is not where we were lacking in SolidCAM. Now, because what is the different league? The different league is in the program length and complexity of these programs. So the programs are much longer, okay? Now, the problem starts with the operator, who actually, I always speak with these customers what you do in order to optimize, the tool change. Because only by optimizing the tool change, you can save a lot of time. And not only, another level is that you can analyze the angle of machining, and you can maybe probably machine multiple parts with this same angle without changing the tool. So there's a tons of optimization that you can do. So I was talking with every of the customers, so what do you do, what do you use? Oh, we have a very experienced operator, and he do this manually. Okay, can you show me this guy? Yeah. I go to him and ask him, how you optimize this stuff? Well, I don't optimize that much because I'm afraid if I change too many things, I'm afraid that my updated stock will not be the same. Maybe I will crash something, I will forget that something was not cleaned up, so it's a mess. And another problem is that you need to change that in every single workpiece all over. Because the program is too big, it is very high risk that editing manually on the machine or in any text editor will go to the problems and to the crash of the machine. So mainly, talking with the customers, they say, we don't have a solution. So what they do, they machine every part separately and then finish it, and they're happy with it. So the compare clones are going to give you ability to optimize on the level of the tool change, on the angle change, And it's far beyond that. It's not like copying the toolpath. So now everybody here in this room are thinking like, okay, if I have one toolpath on one workpiece, it's the same on every other workpiece. No, it can be different. If you have different fixtures and stuff, each individual workpiece, it can be different toolpath. So let me show you what it's all about. So what is the delta that we had to do? Definitely is the work offsets. So in the setup, you will, for the first time, be able to see the work offset. Perfect. You can also see, in the past, we also showed there that in the fixtures, you can define multiple part mounting points, but you were not able to do anything with it. We were building it, the foundation for the compare clones, and now you can define the clones on each individual positions. And over here, you can see everything in the machine preview. In parallel with that, we developed two things. So first is the workpiece configuration manager, where you can see every of these CAM trees for each individual workpiece with the configuration on the top. You can play with this, which operation will be suppressed, which not. And when this is useful, you can imagine like very tight table where not all the workpieces can be done with the same angle pair, for instance. So maybe the workpiece number 3 needs to be done in the second angle pair. In that case, you can copy any job that you want and just say, okay, for this job, I want to second angle pair. So you will turn it off to other workpieces, for example. So this is why we have this manager. Why we call it also operation sequence manager? Because this is not the channel synchronization. It is channel synchronization that you know, but it doesn't make sense to call it channel synchronization if you have only one channel. So we call it operation sequence manager in the case when it's single channel machining. So you can see here, every of the job that is different in different color, it's a different workpiece. So this is another improvement we've done. But the biggest thing is, there are two complete, thank you, Sydney. It's so good. So, now for the moment, don't think about the clones. But I want you to think about the classic scenario with the mill turn. When you have the main spindle and you do the part transfer, then you have the sub spindle. Now, if you want to see two parts machining, we had to use this option, add a new workpiece. This is not a clone. This is just, okay, I want to cut the program over here. I will get the two workpieces, that's it. So we developed in 2026 that, as you can see in 2025, we had only one workpiece per one table. So that's the classic scenario that you know. Main spindle, part transfer, sub spindle, both have only one part. So now the delta we did is that your workpieces, you can have multiple workpieces on the table. What that allows you, you can imagine 4 different vices, okay? And that it will not be cloned. So like not all the same orientation of the part. Instead, what you can do, one side, second side, third side, fourth side, for instance, and you will go to the channel synchronization just to add new workpiece, add new workpiece, add new workpiece. Between of them, of course, you will have manual part transfer with the operator. That allows you at the end to have more setups in one program with 4 parts over here on the device. So this is the scenario. What are the common cases that I found by far with this feature? So when we started to develop this feature, I was thinking all the time about the clones, about the tombstones and these multiple vices. But it turns out that we can do much, much, much more with this feature. So this is one of the cases, when you have multi-vices on the same table, but also same side machining. So this is a classic example like that you have. Another one that I just now mentioned, that you can have 1, 2nd, 3rd. This is not clones, by the way. This is not clones. This is just, you want to orientate it with different even Mac orientations, and you will use add new workpiece feature. This is not clones. We still put it like in a clones family, but it's not really a clone in the matter of what I will tell you. So these are clones. What you see on the left, it's a classic example where you will do side 1 and side 2 in one program. So many people were asking also on different forums, hey guys, how I can program this? I want my 2 parts to be finished per program. So I do one side machining and also second side machining, and I have 2 parts finished per one cycle. I can save so much time and use the same tool, even on these 3 axes. I can use the same tool, optimize the tool change, and minimize the machining time. So over here, this is the same example, but what is interesting to mention here, these 4 parts are completely different orientation. So they are saying it's the same G-code. No, this is not the same G-code. You can have even different X position, Y position, Z position. You can think about that these Ys can be rotated 45 degrees. The toolpath is the same in this case, yeah, sure, but the output can be completely different. So that far we went. Let's go next. Tombstones, the 4-axis horizontal, also the 5-axis. So we will kinematically solve all, regardless what is the kinematic, we will solve each of these cases. You can take the same part, just load in another machine, there you go. All the work offsets there are saved and just, generate the G-code, that's it. Another thing, this is where I will give a demonstration with this part. I found this picture on one of the forums, and so I tried to replicate the same in SolidCAM. Pyramid fixtures. Many people of you asked for it, but the case with the pyramid, it's not only like, okay, use the fixture, put the 3 parts there and stuff. There's a big deal about the work offset, how you are measuring this. Is it with probe? Is it like every part is the same? Do you put maybe the work offset in the middle of the fixture? So many of our customers ask, can you put the work offset on the fixture? Yes, you could if you have like a CAD model, CAD design, and then you'll put it there. But how to do it over here? We did also that as well. We also can do combination. So what I told you about the clones, and what I told you about adding the new workpiece, you can combine these 2 features. So this is the example. Over here, I will define 1 master workpiece and 2 clones. Okay? I will machine the first side, and then I will use option of add an MCO, make a part transfer. I call it part transfer. It will be an operator that will move the part there. Second side, right? So in this program, I will have the 3 MCOs that will move each of these individuals there, add new workpiece 3 times in the channel synchronization. When you load machine simulation, you'll see updated stock of all these workpieces over there, machining there, and also you have the 3 clones with stocks there. Optimizing the tool change with single click that Michael showed just in a few moments, sorting, optimization sorting. We will analyze per each workpiece the tool change, what is possible. We'll analyze the angle change. So we will try to give you the minimum machining time for these workpieces automatically. Is to not just mention like clones are applicable only for a milling? No. I asked many times the feature that I have 1 part that is actually machined only 1 side, that's it. You do the cutoff, part is done. But I want to use also my sub-spindle to have 2 workpieces done in the same program. I don't want to use like add a new workpiece, I just want to use same workpiece and also done 1 program, 2 workpieces done. We were not able to do that in SolidCAM. With clones, you can do that. Create all the jobs there, super, clone it, G55, G54, 1 program, double jobs, that's it. Oh, this was very... Many people ask about this. I'm still not sure if it's going to work, but I don't see the reason why not. You just create multiple part mounting points and just shift the... I call them coin-shaped part. When you, with the 1 bar, you want to machine multiple parts before pulling it out, right? So clones will allow you to do that. And we will automatically care about the work offset. Every time the other part is just a different work offset. So why not to do that? With a clone, you don't have to do anything. You define the first one, define how many you want in a bar, 4 or 5, done also. I'm going to do a live demonstration with this feature. I cannot cover everything in this demonstration, but I'll just try to show you the level where we are now. I'm going to use completely development version. So in the case it crashes or something, just to let you know, it's completely development version. There are many features that we are still working on it and finalizing it for the December in January, so stay tuned. I'm going to use this part over here. And let me actually prepare it. I forgot to prepare something. So bear with me. Sorry, I'm going to... Yeah, exactly. So let me just... Sorry, I'll just close this project and take the backup one. I want to start over because I also want to show you what is necessary delta in order to see what are the things necessary in order to have a clones. So what you need to do in the post-processor for it. So I'm just going to overwrite all these. OK. Yeah. Should be now fine. OK. Yeah, this is now perfect. So the same part that you've seen in the picture, nothing so special about it. It's a single setup, meaning that I have only these jobs over here. So let me just click on this. All right, classic. OK, I have no fixture even defined here, nothing. So I can go inside my setup. You can see, oh, I do have a vice. OK, so this is the classic example where most of our milling applications are today. Single vines, there you go, I have everything, I'll define, perfect. OK, so what is the delta that you need to do in the post? By default, you cannot do the post. The output will not come automatically, the application will not work automatically for your clones. Why? Because all our existing milling customers would maybe like to use the clones, but you need to do this delta to ensure that nobody will crash the machine and stuff. What is it all about? It's about the work offsets. So we never had the work offsets, and it's a very big and important deal in clones. So you need to define them. So let me show you what is the delta. So I will just open my VMID. This is the classic OKK 5-axis table machine. I have only a single submachine over here. So the first and the most important thing is to have the channel synchronization or operation sequence manager. You cannot have operation sequence manager if you don't have channels defined. Even this machine, it's 5-axis milling machine. In reality, this is single channel machine. So this is what you need to do. Do a right click, add a channels folder, which will have this channel 1 already installed there. And the submachine 1 will be there. I don't like to call the channel in this case, but instead I will just call it a program. So my backspace doesn't work. All right. So it's my program. So when I open my operation sequence manager, it will be called program. What is the second thing? You go to the controller definition, and now over here we have the work offset tables. It's by default, all your VMIDs in milling will be completely empty. There's nothing inside. So what you do right click, add a work offset table, and voila, you have automatically G54 up to G59 installed there. And the checkbox is there also over here. I would like to add another work offset table, and this time I will just delete all of these. This is applicable, of course, for the FANUC machines. For the others, you will do, of course, different. So I will just type 54.1 P1. Now, of course, I can do more and more and more, but we created a very nice feature. How many index positions you want more? 48. Done. Perfect. So all right. So work offset tables, you go over here. I will just say this is a standard. This one is extended. With this, we are going to have 4 or 5 get functions, so you can support, correctly the work offset output. Because I create and defined my channels, the CAM part project had to be closed, and now once you reopen, you're ready to create clones. So where the things are, I will go to the setup. And now for the first time, you can define the clones. Nothing is visible yet. Why? Because I have only one vice. and I have only one part mounting point. So let me show you. I prepared for this demonstration different fixtures and different options. So the first option will be to go into, I say here, none. And again, show you a little bit the fixtures, how easy it is to load the fixtures. So I'll just go over here. There is something come with the installations. And I'll take these 4 last, take them all here. And let's go directly to the pyramid. Yeah, this will be fine. Here is the pyramid. I will also reset my orientation. So this is a classic scenario that will happen once you load the fixture. So your workpiece is there, the Mac position is there. Yes, we will improve this. We will work also that we automatically raise it to, to the Z level, maybe correctly position it. This is still optimization, but still, you can do many things manually, but we improve one very important thing. Now, regardless where you are, you don't need to use this feature over here. I mean, you can, still you can. But you can also use option like directly clicking in the machine preview. So bear with me. So you click on the surface, you hold your control key, you click on this, and now you have a new option. Component mating. So you just click on make it parallel, boom. Click. Also with control key, click, make coincident, that's it, done. The only thing what I need to do, close on stock. Perfect. Now, yes, this is one part, perfect, but what you can see there is the work offset. So I have the work offset G54. So this is the new thing. Oh, now, as you can see, automatically over here, I have 2 other part mounting points that have assigned my work offset. If I don't want to use them, for example, there are multiple reasons why you don't want to use them, you can also suppress them. So they will not be listed in the G-code output, for instance. So if not, you can just unsuppress them. What in the case you want to use the extended work offset table? You just go to the VMID here. You go, instead of the standard, you go to the extended, do a right click, and just make it active. When you make it active, you'll see this green checkbox here. It will be, so it means that, oh, I'm going to use this extended version. We are thinking also to give this possibility also in the VMID. Why not? So, in the level of the machine setup. So, yeah, as I said, this is development version. So, by far, it didn't crash. All right, what's next now? I want this workpiece to be added to other positions, okay? So how I'm going to do it? You can see now there are a couple of new things also implemented. Here we have the workpiece name. Here we have these shifts. We have the work offset. Now, when you do a right click, you have this option. Let's add a clone. If you didn't add those things that I showed you earlier, this will be unavailable for a user. It will be just grayed out. So I will just add a clone. Also, I will add a clone. I didn't show one thing here, which is actually important. If you open the fixture table, you have these part mounting points, which has the color. Now, that's fine, but also you have the color over here. Colors are important because you can distinguish different workpieces over here. And in this case, as you can see, we have the color, and when you click on every of this color, you can see this one is this bluish, this one is this reddish, okay? And you can click on this, and we prepared for you 20 different very nice colors. They are very important later in the in the operation sequence manager because you want to see everything nice. You don't want to use the black color, right? Because it will match with the text. So use any of these that are prepared for you. This is very nice palette of the colors. So I'll click OK, and now it starts to be, okay, I have these that is in the right position, and this is in the wrong positions. So, of course, I can just click on this, click on that, again, just make it parallel and so, yeah. But I don't want to do that. We have an option here that you can just copy everything what you see on this page, select both of these with the Shift key or with the Control key, and do a right-click here. And now we have a couple of new options here. You can do paste, everything, also positions, orientations, and also the axis if it's there, or you can individually paste each one individually. So you just click, done. I can tell you it's even more impressive when you're using it on the Thomson machines, when you see like 16 paths are like shifted in at one time. So I'll show you that also. It's very nice. Okay, so what's next? What is improved also? So you can see this workpiece 1, workpiece 2, workpiece 3 automatically added. So whatever the name of this workpiece 2, 3 is, so you can change the syntax like VP1, VP2 if you want it shorter. We will follow the index. So just right-click, edit, and the index will be raised and stuff. Okay. So as you can see, not huge changes. I think so far it's very nice, but the things are actually more behind the scenes. Now bear with me. Once I now click Save, something will happen here in the setup. So I'll click Save button, and now suddenly we have something new. What's that? We are marking that, okay, the toolpad that you can see here and this stuff that you can see here, it's only for my workpiece number 1. I can change this, and that's why we do have, if you do right-click on the setup, we have here a new option, Workpiece Configuration Manager. You can also find it in the ribbon. So if I go to the Workpiece Configuration Manager over here, you can see that all of my jobs that I have predefined, they are also available in workpiece number 2 and not workpiece number 3. That's fine. But I can now go here, and for instance, I can just turn off this one and click Save, and you can see that this one is disabled. So easy way to disable job. Instead of doing right-click, you can go to the Workpiece Configuration Manager and just start disabling it from here. But if you want to jump to another workpiece, just do a right-click here, set it active. I like it. Or double-click on this. Also nice. But what I like to show is this drop-down menu. It's easy way, while you are in the CAM tree, you can click on this and go to the workpiece number 2. Here are the things start to be interesting. Because you can see those are not calculated jobs. So you are thinking like, why I need to calculate it? I already had the toolpad. This is the perfect scenario where I had the part with the same fixtures, position it, sure. But what if I take one part and make it more lower? So if I use the fixture protection, the toolpad for that workpiece will not be the same. So let me show you that. So yes, it's still work in progress. I can just do and calculate this, and we are going to have a manager like so, where you say, hey, what are the workpiece that you want to calculate? This still doesn't work, okay? So, but if I click OK, he will calculate only for this workpiece. That's okay and fine. So let me show you this. I will go to the setup, and let's say I will go back to my workpiece 1. Now, in this case, it's fairly simple. Pyramid has only 3 workpieces, okay? But I want to show you something. If you have a lot of, I will show you in the Thomson actually, maybe. You can do right-click here and click on Select Part Mounting. When you do that, we will highlight what is the workpiece there, which is the workpiece there. Very nice. In this case, maybe, as I said, maybe doesn't make sense. But when you have a lot of workpieces, you don't want to look it on the list. You go on the machine preview, right-click, select part mounting, he will highlight. Do right-click, select the part mounting, he will highlight. Perfect. Okay, so let's play with this a little bit. So I will go to this workpiece and just make it a little bit more lower. I go inside. I'll go to my workpiece 1, and for instance, I have no clue which job. Oh, maybe this job. Sure, why not? I'll go to edit. So this is the toolpad. I mean, it's before, of course, we move it. So, and you go to the target fixture protection, save, and calculate. Let's see what will happen. So we are checking now, and this is the process that we are doing it only first time when we are loading the fixture. And once this is done, it takes like 5 seconds, not more. And now you can see, we take into account our fixture. Perfect, but what is happening with my workpiece number 2? I go to my workpiece number 2, I recalculate. Yeah, sure. The toolpad there, it's just fine. So it's much more than clones, guys, okay? All right, so let's go. There are so much more things actually I can show. How much time I have? -5 minutes, okay. So, What is more thing? Let me just make it bigger. And instead of pyramid, let's say I want to use 4-side tombstone. There we go. The process is pretty much the same. I just go over here, just make it, I will raise it here, sure. Now, we still don't have this option yet, but it will be also possible to do multiple selection, add clone. Still, we are not there. It's coming up in next release, so just bear with me. I will just add those also manually like so. Not so how much work, but as you can see here, now all of these are in 0 positions, right? Again, just copy, multiple selection, paste. The effect was good, actually. All right, the next one. Let's go to the 4 vices. OK, so I would like to show this. Nothing so special. You do also, I can do add a clone. Sure, that's OK. But another thing, I want to go back actually to these 3, to the pyramid. And there's one thing that I want to show. There are a couple of things that we also did in the way of how we support the work offsets. Maybe not that for the pyramid, but anyway, let me just add a clone again. I'm going to copy this, paste the positions. So we have a nice option here, checkbox use main. To simplify the work offset, I mean, when you have like 16 with work offsets, if it's not so important to be very accurate, if it's the side O, the first side operation, then you want to minimize your setup time. So you don't want to touch every single workpiece, and to it's really time-consuming process. So in that case, you can imagine that we are going to measure only one workpiece here and get automatically the shifts and plane rotations for others. That's why we have this checkbox. So the first one, the master one, doesn't have this checkbox. But if I want to use the second and the third, we have this option, use the main coordinate system, and just bear what is happening here. If I click on the use main, we will indicate that all of these are using the main Mac, while the others are just Mac orientations that will receive directly the shift and plane rotation. Just amazing. Another thing, let's go here, click None, and I'll go back to the toolkit. Let me show you this one. So I will go to my storage. I will click on this pyramid. Nice. Now, I raised this question like, I would like to make work offset, but placed on the fixture. How to do that? So we see these part mounting points that are fine. So on this base, so this is my base. So the first component is this base over here. Others are just devices. Makes sense to do that. I will make another part mounting. I can even call this. Let's change this name and just call it G54. It doesn't matter. For the name, it doesn't matter. So the name is here. And I'll just use here the Z shift. So I click on this Z. I move it here. Let me try. And I know what it is. Just a second. Y. I know what it is, but I will just do it manually for now. But it should work just, yeah. Not the latest DV that I have. But you can see it here. It will be possible just to click it on there. Okay, so I have here the shift. But now the new option that we have is the work offset point over here. So just say, hey, I want this part mounting point to not be used for my mountings, but I want to use it for my work offset. You can change the name over here and etc., add additional shifts, and just accept it. When you go back to the setup, you will see that still only 3 part mounting points are there. But now, at the bottom, you have a new option. Work offset on fixture. Just use it, which one it is, add the clones. Now what will happen, we still don't show it visually, but all these 3 will be just the max. But the work offset will be directly on the fixture. So the shifts will go, from each individual, these 3, while you're doing only the work offset, simplifying the setup only on that point there. Thank you. And the last step in this process, like, okay, what's the last process? Right? Yeah, so we have all the toolpath, we calculated all, yes. So where we go next? Operation Sequence Manager. So now these jobs are not calculated. So let me just quickly calculate them, because if some of the jobs, by the way, are not calculated, we are going to indicate that one in the channel synchronization or Operation Sequence Manager. Every time when you reselect the fixture, he will do this, and next time he will not run it the same thing. This is happening only in the case when you first time need the fixture. Now in the next simulation, when you run the simulation, this process will not be there. So let me just quickly go to other workpieces there and just calculate that. Take some time. Okay, and for the third one. Okay. And let's go now to the channel synchronization or Operation Sequence Manager. Right-click, Operation Sequence Manager. Here we go, how it looks. Every of these is different color based on what you selected inside the setup. And now you have this option, automatic sorting. You're still working on it. We will have even the drop-down menu, how you would like to optimize it. Is it only per workpiece, or you don't want to optimize it, you want per tool change, you look for the angles, don't look for the angles. So it's still work in progress, but still, even without that feature, very visually you can see what you can do and what you can optimize. Drag and drop here, everything will be possible. Once you're done, you can see the total machining time, save, calculate, and generate the Đjurica simulated. Done. Now, let me just show you the last thing is the simulation. So I'm running the third one. Whenever you are running the SolidCAM simulator, for instance, we're showing only one workpiece on that position. So, I mean, this is all symmetrically, so we will not see, but if I run now for the workpiece 2, not this one will be shown, it will show the another one, okay? So that's how it works with a non-kinematic simulator. If you go to kinematic simulator, machine simulation or SolidCAM machine simulation, it will show all the workpieces, the whole process from the Operation Sequence Manager. Again, updated stock works great, so you go to any job, he will show actually updated stock, and you see the fixture was not like loaded or something. It comes instantly. And you can see updated stock every single time. That's what I can show you. With this, the future is bright with the clones. So stay tuned. It's coming in 2026. SP0, stay tuned. Thank you very much for your attention.